Welcome back to Keystone and More. Finally, we're going to make another podcast. Last week, Nick and I we tried to make a podcast. We don't know where that went. So we're going to start over, and hopefully we'll try to make this a weekly thing, a podcast, and then probably doing some more videos, so we'll start this back up now that we both have some more time throughout the week. And 2019 is going to come, so we got a lot of sports coverage to talk about, especially right now with the NFL playoffs going on, college football playoffs, which Nick's going to talk about. Hockey's just on the midway of the season. Baseball is a little bit quiet. We'll keep in touch with that, but we'll let it be for a little bit. Nick, what should we start with first?
Okay, so I'm going to start with the NHL today. And we're just going to look at games didn't start till Thursday this week because of the holidays, because of Christmas, and I guess Boxing Day. But so we're going to just cover all the games, every single game that happened since Thursday, December 27th, one of which I was attending. So Thursday, December 27th, we had the Devils go up to Boston to take on the Bruins, in which I personally thought the Bruins would win that game. Did not happen. Devils win a 5-2 game up there in the TD Garden with the help of Taylor Hall and Nico Hirschhausen. Very, very surprising how Boston, and we'll cover the game they played against Buffalo in a sec, but just surprising that they're 20-14-4 after that game on Thursday night. Very surprising. Thought they'd be doing better. Only in the second wild card right now. So then next up in the 7 o'clock slot, the Blue Jackets took on the Rangers at Madison Square Garden and went to overtime. Blue Jackets win that game 4-3 in the Garden, the second Garden, the original Garden, Madison Square.
Fair.
And Blue Jackets, they kind of need, if they want to win first in the Metro, which doesn't look like it's happening, the Caps are running away with the division as they often do in the regular season. And Blue Jackets, they need to win every game they can now. Then also in the 7 o'clock slot, the Red Wings went out to Western Pennsylvania to take on the Penguins. And the Penguins would win that game 5-2 against the Red Wings, who are having a struggling season in the rebuild with Anthony Mantha and Dylan Larkin. Pittsburgh finally rebounding after having a pretty rough start. Pretty similar in Pittsburgh. Always has a rough start, rebound.
5-game win streak, and Crosby's looking like a really young Crosby.
And then down in the district, the Hurricanes went up to DC to take on the number one team in the Metro, the Capitals, who would win that game 3-1 against the struggling Hurricanes, which is surprising because I think everyone was expecting the rebuild to finally be over down there in North Carolina, but not too fast as they are 15-16-5. And then in the 7:30 time slot, a game I was attending, and I'm going to go on a rant after I list all these scores.
Oh, you guys lost? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, dude. We were losing 5. The Flyers losing 5-2 to Tampa. They make a comeback 5-5 overtime. 16 seconds into the game, 16 seconds into overtime, Tampa wins 6-5 in overtime down there in Tampa. The best team in the league right now is on an 11-game point streak. Has gotten a point in each of their last 11 games. 10 of those times they got 2 points with a win against Philadelphia on Thursday night. Then in the 8 o'clock time slot, the Sabres, who are looking like the hottest, the youngest team in the league right now and can be a force to be reckoned with for 10 to 15 years, go out to St. Louis for a former force to be reckoned with. And the Blues actually win. They actually win 4-1 with interim coach Craig Berube behind the bench. And they beat the Sabres 4-1, who have just been very good this year. And then in the 8 o'clock time slot, also in the 8 o'clock time slot, the Stars took on the Predators, two teams that are the Stars, a team that they might make top 3 in the Central, but it's still, we don't really know. We know the Jets and Predators probably be the Fires too. We don't know who the third one's going to be though. And the Stars win this game 2-0 down there in Nashville against divisional foe. So big game there for the Stars, who are 19-16-3 after this game. Then out in Winnipeg for two of the hottest teams in the league, the Calgary Flames and the Winnipeg Jets. Calgary wins that game 4-1 in Winnipeg. Two of the hottest teams in the Western Conference right now. Calgary finally looking like the team we've been expecting for the last few years. Looks like they could possibly make a run. Maybe. Then in Chicago, two teams that used to be two of the best in the West, now two of the least in the West. Well, I guess not Minnesota, but still, Minnesota went to Chicago. Minnesota could never beat Chicago in the playoffs, and they couldn't beat them on Thursday night. Chicago wins that game 5-2. Corey Crawford retiring, it's a possibility, and then the Blackhawks could pick up Sergio Brodovsky and free agency. Who knows? Then in the 9 o'clock time slot, the Canucks went out to Edmonton, where they would win 4-2. Well, not a big surprise, but somewhat of a surprise. The Oilers have been looking very good with Connor McDavid, and they did just make two trades today, getting Alex Petrovic from Florida and Brandon Manning from Chicago, Edmonton. That is. Then in the 9:30 time slot, Colorado went down to Vegas, the Sin City, and Vegas went that game 2-1 in the T-Mobile Arena. Vegas took down a very hot Colorado team, one of the best in the league. Colorado, that could be the third. That's probably gonna be the third Central team. Dallas would have to get a wild card, but Pacific, this is very good this year. So then the Kings and the Coyotes took each other down to Staples Center. The Kings starting to look a little
Deteriorate.
yeah.
Definitely deteriorate.
Yeah, definitely gonna have to go through the rebuild process. I remember when this team was the 8th seed and took down Vancouver, the President's Trophy winner, on their road to the Cup. They do beat the Coyotes 2-1 on Thursday night. And then the final game on Thursday night was the Sharks and the Ducks. The Sharks with Erik Karlsson, who was suspended, I believe, and has been having a rough start. I personally do not think he will be going back to San Jose on July 1st. And the San Jose Sharks would beat the Anaheim Ducks 4-2. Go on to Friday night, where in Sunrise, the Panthers take on the Canadiens. The Canadiens on the up and up. The Panthers, 1 point out of the playoffs last year. This year, 15-15-6. Probably looking for a lottery pick once again. The Canadiens beat the Panthers 5-3 in Sunrise with probably a Montreal home crowd. Then out on Long Island, the Ottawa Senators took on the New York Islanders. The Islanders will win that game 6-3 with Barzal having a hat trick in just 4 minutes and 33 seconds it took him for that hat trick. What a game. But actually, that might have been on Saturday. Sorry. Let's see if the Islanders had
I think that's on Saturday.
Still, yeah, I think that was on Saturday, but because I have my fantasy team. So the point is, Islanders won 6-3 against the Senators. The Islanders on the up and up. The Senators, after making the Eastern Conference Finals just 2 years ago, are now once again looking for the number 1 pick in the draft. And then finally, 2 of the top 5 teams in the Eastern Conference face off in Columbus, with the Maple Leafs taking on the Blue Jackets, and the Maple Leafs win that game 4-2 at the Nationwide Arena. Then on yesterday, we had a full slate of hockey. At 1 o'clock, we had the Hurricanes take on the Devils at the Prudential Center. 2 of the 3 worst teams in the Metro, not including my Philadelphia Flyers, played each other in the Prudential Center, and the Devils would win that game 2-0 in a shutout on the Carolina Hurricanes.
Wow, you guys are worse than the Metro. I didn't realize that.
Oh yeah, we are now.
This is our year, Corey Hart. Huh? Okay.
Hart is very good.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, he's 20 years old. He is 20.
Yeah, Matt Murray was like 21. I need a new excuse.
21. That's a one extra year. Almost for Scranton. And it doesn't matter that the league is literally rigged like lawyer cups for you. I'm not even kidding.
Okay.
Yeah, Crosby was a rigged process. Lemieux was a rigged process. I mean, all your top draft picks were a rigged process.
Okay.
I'll make a video on that for you. Yes. Don't worry. It'll be a good one, too, because I know everything about it. Two times they were going to go to Kansas City, and they get the number 1 overall draft pick of a generational talent. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So, anyway. Then later in the day, the Vegas Golden Knights went down to L.A., and they destroyed the Kings. 4-1 game. Jeez, the Kings. I will probably be making a video of the Kings because I know they're not Pennsylvania, but whatever. They're just terrible. They're just terrible. They need to be talked about. Go ahead.
No, I can hear you. Don't worry.
Okay. The Sharks took on the Oilers, and it was a high-scoring affair in Alberta. Sharks beat the Oilers 7-4 in the Rogers Palace, I believe is what it's called. Then over in Manitoba, the Wild took on the Jets, won that game 3-1. Surprising result, as the Jets have been considered one of the best teams in the league. But not on Saturday night. Then the Bruins go up to Buffalo. The Bruins win that game in overtime, 3-2. 2 of the best teams in the Atlantic, 2 of the top 4 or 5 teams in the Atlantic right there. Sabres on the up and up. Bruins are always pretty steady, just normal. Don't ever really get bad. Don't ever really be mediocre. Then the Islanders go up to the Great White North to take on the Leafs. Islanders win that game. 3 goals coming from Barzal in a 4-0 shutout for the Islanders. Then in a battle of the nation's capitals. The Capitals took on the Senators in Ottawa at the Scotiabank Center. The Capitals win that game 3-2, a lot closer than most Capitals fans would probably want if I was talking to them. Then a very high-scoring affair in the Sunshine State between the Canadiens and the Lightning, with a probably 50-50 crowd because the Canadiens do travel well. A lot of snowbirds down there in Florida. And the Lightning win that game 6-5 in a very high-scoring affair at the Amalie Arena. Then, in Sunrise, Florida. Okay, I'm going to talk about this game. Sunrise, Florida, the Flyers play the Panthers. Okay, this is total bullshit.
This is going to be an excuse, but let's hear it.
No, it's not an excuse. The team played like shit. The Flyers are winning 1-0 until the last 3.5 minutes of the whole game. Third period, 3.5 minutes to go. And the Flyers defense chokes on the rookie goalie. Can't protect him, can't help him. Because what would they do? They give him a 4-on-1. He's supposed to stop on 4-on-1. No, he doesn't stop a 4-on-1. He's a 20-year-old goalie. I don't even think most goalies in the NHL could stop a 4-on-1. So the Panthers tied the game there with 3.5 to go. And then, in the winding seconds of this game, we look like hopefully we're going to overtime, hopefully getting at least a point. No, a breakaway. A fucking breakaway on a penalty. A 5-on-4 break. You can't allow that. You're already down a man, and then you let him break away. You can't allow this. And they lose that game 2-1 in a choke job, as I like to call it. Then out in St. Louis, the Penguins took on the Blues, and they fucking manhandled them. 6-1 win there for the Penguins.
Steamroll. That's an absolute steamroll right there.
Then the Rangers went down to the Predators, and the Rangers win that game 4-3 with Henrik Lundqvist, once the best goalie in the league, beating the Predators, who have Pekka Rinne, who is also once the best goalie in the league. Then the Red Wings went down to Dallas, Texas. The Dallas, Texas Stars destroyed the Red Wings 5-1, just hours after the Stars owner talked shit about his two best players in Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin. Then in the Rocky Mountains, the Blackhawks went out to the Avalanche in an overtime affair where the Blackhawks would win 3-2 against the Great White North Avalanche. That made no sense. Then in Southern California, the Coyotes went out to Southern California just minutes from Disney World, or Disneyland, I guess, where the Coyotes took on the Ducks. The Coyotes would win that game in overtime, 5-4. And then in Alberta, a battle of two Western Canadian teams, the Canucks and the Flames. The Canucks would win that one 3-2 in overtime. So that's all we have for the NHL this week.
Pretty full.
Okay.
But
So I do need to say one thing about the Lightning fan base. Yeah, okay, this is gonna take some water. This is a rant. Okay, so Lightning fan base. They have a very, very passionate following down there in Tampa. The Flyers fans, I would like to say, sort of invaded their arena. So we sort of invaded their arena a little bit. There was definitely sections where it was just orange, which is never a good sign. But I was sitting next to two Lightning fans, and my God, did they have no idea what they were talking about? Absolutely no idea what they were talking about. I mean, so here's the first thing. They don't know what icing is down there. Nobody in the stadium knows what icing is, apparently, because there were some pretty obvious icings, and they got called, and the fans got pretty mad about it. Which I didn't really get that, because I mean, icing is icing. It's one of the more basic rules in the league, actually. A rule that you never really see a challenge for or anything, because it's usually pretty obvious.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't know what icing is or something. I don't know. And then, in the city with two of the worst stadiums in professional sports, Tropicana Field, which is probably the worst baseball stadium in the Major League Baseball.
You said you liked that stadium when you went.
I actually do somewhat respect that stadium, but for my argument, that place is terrible.
What's wrong with it? It's a touch tank. You get to touch.
It is a dome, though. They are playing inside. I don't like that. That's the part I didn't like.
You just get to play every single home game. They won't have rain delays. I like the retractable roof, so you can play outside, and then if it's raining, then you can play inside.
Exactly.
That's fine.
They
Okay.
don't have retractable roofs. They have a dome. Don't. And then the Raymond James Stadium.
Oh,
That place is terrible.
that place is rough.
I've been there personally. Not a great place. I've now been to all 3 Tampa Bay stadiums. And by the way, the Vegas Golden Knights are beating the Arizona Coyotes right now, just 9 minutes into the game, 1-0. So that's all I have to say about the NHL. If you want to talk any other NHL,
Nah, really. I mean, we covered most of it. As the season's going on, we got our 4 division leaders in Tampa Bay, Washington, Winnipeg, and Calgary. Who do you think will be still on top at the end of the season?
I think the East is pretty set. I mean, if we're being honest, I think the East is pretty set where it's at right now. I don't know the exact standings, but I know it's pretty set. The West is a little bit more wild. There's a lot of different things, a lot of shifting in the West, but the East is. I think the East is set, and we're not even midway. We're not even technically midway through the year yet. So
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the Metro, that's a close division.
yeah, but I think
4 or 5 points only separate them.
I think the Caps and the Blue Jackets are getting the first 2.
You think the Blue Jackets can hang on? You don't think Pittsburgh's gonna run up the scoreboard in the second half? 'Cause that's what they normally do.
Pittsburgh's a playoff team.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I probably shouldn't be drinking this cup, right? Religious.
It doesn't matter.
Right? But whatever. I don't care about that. But anyway, point is, yeah, I think the East is pretty set. The West, though, I think we're going to see a decent amount. I think we can see a decent amount of shifting, possibly.
Okay.
So
You can see that.
I could see that.
So we could probably move on now, since we probably exhausted a lot of that out of NHL. Starting now, it's the December bowl games.
Yeah.
A lot of them, a lot of exciting ones, a lot of really disappointing ones. What was your most exciting bowl game you saw at all? Like,
Cheese It Bowl, baby. Cheese It Bowl. TCU takes on California. I'm going to cover all the bowl games in a quick sec, but TCU takes on California. TCU wins that game 10-7 in overtime. And there was 10 picks, 10 interceptions. 4 of them happened in the first 5 minutes of the game.
that's rough. But it's a bowl game, so really anything can happen.
Yeah. So anyway, let me cover all the games for you right now. So on Wednesday, December 26th, after the brief 3-day holiday break, Boston College and Boise State is supposed to get off to a nice start. 1 o'clock game in Texas. It's supposed to be beautiful. Canceled. Game is canceled. Just minutes in, Boston College doesn't get the win that they were winning. They're winning 7-0. Game gets canceled minimally into the game, 8 minutes into the game. Then later that day, 5:15, Minnesota took on Georgia Tech in Detroit, and Minnesota destroyed Georgia Tech. They beat them by 24 points, but it was never close. At one point, Minnesota was winning 34-3, so it was never a close game. And then later that night, TCU took on California in the Cheese Bowl. TCU wins that game 10-7, and TCU used 2 different kickers on the final field goal. So then on Thursday at 12 o'clock, Temple took on Duke. Temple is winning this game. They're breezing by. It looks like Temple's about to win the Independence Bowl. No, not so fast. Duke is going to score 35 points in the second half. Temple's going to score none. Duke is going to win 56-27. The Duke quarterback throws 5 touchdowns and runs for another one in the blowout. Then up at Yankee Stadium at 5:15, Miami took on Wisconsin. Miami had their early 3-0 lead. Wisconsin scores 35 unanswered. Wisconsin wins the game 35-3 at Yankee Stadium in the Pinstripe Bowl. And then in the Academy Sports Plus Outdoors Texas Bowl, Baylor took on Vanderbilt, and Baylor and Vanderbilt had a nice game there, 45-38. What a game! Then the next day, Friday, December 28th, Purdue takes on Auburn.
That was a good game.
And what an ass kicking by Auburn. Auburn wins that game 63-14. Auburn in the record-setting win with 56 points in the first half, or all-time record. And then at 5:15, in the game I would have been at, except for a family emergency, Syracuse wins that game against West Virginia 34-18. Number 20 ranked in the country was number 16 ranked in the country. Will Greer sitting out for the West Virginia Hunters. And then the nightcap on Friday night, Iowa State versus Washington.
That was rough.
Washington State was that game 28-26 after being up by 21 at one point. Washington State wins the game 28-26. Rough game for you, Millan, as an Iowa State fan.
It was. Couple of controversial calls, but some good calls. But I mean, 2-point. It all came down to 2-point conversion. It was a good game. Second half. Came down to that 2-point conversion, just didn't get it. You gotta respect it. It's a fair loss.
Yeah.
Cut your losses.
And then yesterday,
As a Packers fan and a Philly fan, you should know all about the losses.
definitely. But I say 4 Super Bowls, not bad. 4 Super Bowls, not bad. 2 cups. 2 World Series since 1980. You guys haven't won since the 70s, so, not too mad about that. Plus 4 World Series appearances since 1980. Let's see, what else am I forgetting?
Appearances.
1985.
I just don't think appearances should count. Cool, you showed up, but you gotta win. You can't go half-assed. You gotta win.
Okay, 2 World Series since 1980. You haven't been there. You haven't even won one since the 70s.
I think our 70s team could beat your 80s team. Hands down.
Mike Schmidt, the best third baseman of all time. I don't think there's any debate.
Because we were filthy. In the 70s.
Actually, I do want to make a video later this week, though, about an interesting thing that I just learned about from the early 2000s. Pretty interesting stuff, and I would like to cover that later this week. But anyway, before we get too off topic, let's talk about Saturday. Yesterday, we had some great games. Well, I guess they weren't great. They were mostly all blowouts. Actually, every game yesterday was a blowout.
Yeah.
Except one. Virginia destroyed South Carolina 28-0. South Carolina, once a storied football program, has been playing a bit rougher in recent years. Then Florida takes on Michigan down at Atlanta. It looks close. Oh, it's 13-10 after halftime. Looks like it's a very good Peach Bowl.
Nope.
Florida wins that game 41-15. Florida dominates Michigan. Franks had a big day for Florida. This makes me think: should Harbaugh go to the NFL at one point? If next year he doesn't beat Ohio State, he still doesn't beat Ohio State, which is, for most Michigan fans, it's like the Army-Navy game. It's the only game that matters. Every other game's like, okay, whatever. But he can't beat Ohio State. The fan base, the alumni is going to get a little more tense if he can't beat Ohio State. That's the only game that some of the fans care about out there.
I mean, in his defense, there's always going to be that one team that you can't beat for a while. And it has to go down to, where is he more successful? Is he more successful in the NFL, or is he more successful in college? So for me,
you talk about that one team. It really makes me think about the Capitals and the Penguins. I mean, it's just that one team the Capitals can't beat. Oh,
they got lucky. If you're a Capitals fan and you're watching this, you guys got lucky last series in the playoffs.
It's still fun. I know they won the cup, but it's still hilarious to talk about.
Nice to see you guys winning the first round last year. Oh wait, you guys got steamrolled by us.
2012? Do you remember 2012?
That was so long ago.
You guys had this dynasty team. Nope. You coming to Philly? No.
So long ago.
Doesn't matter.
iPhones probably weren't invented until that. Well, they were, but no one.
They were invented in 2007.
That was when Angry Birds. People still played Angry Birds.
People still play Angry Birds.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways.
Nevada beats Arkansas State 16-13. I'm not going to really talk about that because Nevada's a basketball school.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the playoffs. They couldn't have been any worse. I mean, Notre Dame gets their ass handed to them against Clemson. Doesn't score in the second, third, or fourth quarter. Whatever. And then Bama.
We kind of knew that was going into the game.
Bama beats them 45-34. The score makes it look closer than that.
Yes, it was definitely.
Bama destroyed them.
They dominated time of possession, total number of yards, passing yards, running.
Wasn't even close.
No.
This really makes me think that you got to go back to the 2-team system. I know people are talking about expanding. No. De-expand. Depan. Go back to the 2-team system. Because, it seems like Notre Dame and Oklahoma are going to ass kick.
I think... I don't mind the 2-team system. Definitely don't expand it. But I think it was just the teams they selected this year. They were just terrible. Between Oklahoma...
Who else were you going to...
That's the problem. There was no one else better to select.
Except maybe Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia probably could have...
You could have done Oklahoma as the 3 seed, Georgia as the 3 seed, Oklahoma as the 4 seed.
You could have done that.
Honestly, I think Notre Dame was the one that shouldn't deserve it. Now, I've talked about this. Notre Dame needs to join a conference.
Definitely.
That they got in this year was pure luck. They need to join a conference. And personally, I would love for it to be the Big Ten. but I think it needs. I mean, their contract says that if they join a conference by 2040, it has to be the ACC.
I would
So
like
they
them to go back to
have.
the ACC.
I don't
I
know if I want them in the ACC.
I liked them in the
The thing,
ACC.
the ACC is they're already stretching with Boston College and Syracuse. I mean, they've
You
got
already
Notre
have,
Dame.
but then you have that Pitt Notre Dame rivalry. It's not a
That's
big
not
rivalry.
fair.
It's a medium rivalry. It's not a huge one, but it's still got that tension in there. But there's no one really better. I mean, the Big Ten, sure, but
The Big
um,
Ten's perfect. There's two other teams from Indiana in that conference already.
it's not. I could see that. Definitely not the SEC or the Big 12.
No, 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 no. They wouldn't join those conferences. They could join the Pac-12. They would do it. They would be the team that would do that too.
Yeah, I could see that. Would I like
But
that?
anyway,
No, I wouldn't like them to
no, I
jump
wouldn't
back.
like it, but I know they would do it.
Yeah.
So guys, this is the last week I'll be doing this, covering the bowl games for the upcoming week. So,
Great
next week
game.
tomorrow.
Arguably good, really good game. Next Saturday or next whenever for the championship game.
Next
Um,
Monday.
next Monday between Clemson and Alabama. Two really good quarterbacks, one sophomore, one freshman, between Tua and Trevor Lawrence, which will be really great to watch.
I just want to talk about the games that are happening this week.
Yep.
Monday, December 31st, we got Cincinnati and Vautech taking each other on down there in Annapolis, Maryland, historic stadium. Then at 2 o'clock in El Paso, middle of fucking nowhere, Texas, Stanford is taking on Pittsburgh for the fourth time in the history of these programs. Stanford is a 4-point favorite. There is no line for the Cincinnati Virginia Tech game, for all you're wondering. Then at 3 o'clock, and the Red Box Bowl, Jesus Christ, Red Box of the bowl game. Michigan State is taking on Oregon. Oregon is a 1.5-point favorite in that game at Levi Stadium in San Francisco. Then at 3:45, Missouri takes on Oklahoma State. Missouri an 8.5-point favorite in Memphis, Tennessee, in the Liberty Bowl game. That makes no sense. That should be in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Where's it at?
It's Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah, it should definitely be in Philadelphia.
I don't really want that game. Missouri and Oklahoma State, no thanks. But I would still like it. I would take a bowl game. I don't know if I want that bowl. That's terrible.
It doesn't matter the team. This is the Liberty because you're the Liberty Bell. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I know.
Potentially.
Then at 7 o'clock, we have the San Diego County Credit Union Holiday Bowl. Jesus Christ. A 7-point favorite for Utah, who is taking on Northwestern. Coach Pat Fitzgerald being interviewed by the Green Bay Packers. And then at 7:30 in the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, Penn State was there just 3 years ago. Look at where they are now. North Carolina State taking on Texas A&M. Texas A&M is 7.5-point favorite. Then on New Year's Day at the Raymond Jamer in Tampa, Florida, Mississippi State taking on Iowa. Mississippi State is 7.5-point favorite with former Penn State offense coordinator Joe Moorhead. Then at 1 o'clock in the Fiesta Bowl, LSU and UCF. Oh, this is UCF's chance to tell me how they're like the best team in the country or whatever.
The only reason why they're good is to play in the American Conference, and every single team in the American Conference sucks. Except maybe Houston. Maybe Houston. You can argue Houston. And Cincy, yeah. Houston was supposed to be good this year, and look at what happened.
UCF should just join the ACC. Instead of Notre Dame.
I can see that.
That's their only choice, really.
But I don't want Notre Dame going into the AAC. That's terrible. That would be really.
No. I'm saying that Notre Dame goes to the Big Ten.
Okay.
You put Rutgers. Oh, okay. So you put Rutgers to the American, Notre Dame to the Big Ten, and UCF to the ACC.
I can see that. Rutgers could deserve. Rutgers was in the Big East, wasn't they?
Oh, actually, no. No, Rutgers has to stay in the Big Ten because actually what has to happen is so if UCF joins the full-time football member, that means there's an odd amount of schools. So Notre Dame has to join, so you have a mega conference of 16 schools.
Okay. That's fair.
Now, to be granted, I don't know if they won UCF because UCF is a terrible basketball school. Actually, they're not terrible. They're okay. They're solid, but they're not ACC good.
And then
their football would be great for the conference, but
yeah.
So then at 1 o'clock in Orlando, Florida, the number 14 ranked Kentucky take on and are about to get destroyed by the number 12 ranked Pennsylvania State in the Lions. Penn State is 6.5-point favorite in that game. Then at 5 o'clock, 4 hours between bowl games. Washington takes on Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. Ohio State is 6.5-point favorite. And then Texas takes on Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, which looks like Georgia is probably going to win that game as they are a 12.5-point favorite. And then next Monday, January 7th, San Francisco, Clemson, Alabama. Alabama's already a 6-point favorite for that game.
So interesting games coming up. Full slate of games, especially coming towards the final game next Monday between Clemson and Alabama. Who's your pick in that game?
I think Bama. Yeah.
You like Bama? I'm going to go against you. I'm going to say Clemson. Just because I have a kid from my school going to Clemson.
Yeah, I know you told me that.
And Trevor Lawrence just looks insane. Even though my friend probably is not going to start. Definitely back up. And Trevor Lawrence has just looked insane already. But that's enough about college football. The one sport that I've been dreading to talk to you about, but we got to do it. Let's move on to the NFL. And as of right now,
why do you not want to talk to me about the NFL? I don't get that.
As of right now, the Indianapolis Colts have a 7-0 lead over the Tennessee Titans, which winner wins the winner will make the 6th seed of the wild card. Early today, though, we had the Bills beating the Dolphins 42-17, Lions beating the Packers 31-0, Patriots beating the Jets 38-3, Panthers beating the Saints 33-14, Cowboys beating the Giants 36-35, Falcons kicking a game-winning field goal to beat the Buccaneers 34-32. Texans just steamrolling the Jaguars 20-3. Chargers manhandling the Broncos 23-9. Chiefs obviously winning against the Raiders 35-3. Rams win 48-32. Bears win the division, get the 3 seed 24-10 over Minnesota.
And knock the Vikings out of the playoffs.
Mark did also knock the Vikings out of the playoffs. Seahawks beating the Cardinals 27-24. Too close of a game in my opinion. Steelers beating Cincinnati 16-3 after getting down 10-0, 10-3 at half.
Means absolutely nothing.
Does mean nothing because Baltimore did beat the Browns 26-24, and then obviously the Eagles blanking the Redskins 24-0, getting the 6th seed. They're going nowhere. I don't care what Eagles fans say. Nate Sudfeld, really, Nate Sudfeld. Yeah, the Bears are going to steamroll. They have potentially Nate Sudfeld since Foles is injured. Wentz, they already said, is not going to be playing. This is going to be an interesting playoff implication.
It's literally not. The playoffs could actually be... I think the playoffs... The wild card round is going to suck.
Definitely. I mean, let's see. It won't be...
The Bears are going to destroy the Eagles. Honestly, the Ravens should take care of business against the Chargers if that's who they end up playing at home. I mean, look what they did in LA. I mean, that's insane. Then if the what's their name? Oh yeah, the Seahawks should take care of business in Jirai's world.
Seahawks are the 5 seed. They're going to where? They're going to Dallas. That'll be a good game. That'll be a fun game to watch.
I think that could be the best game.
That'll be the best game you'll ever see. Well, in this wild card round. In the wild card round, because you're not win. Everyone's gonna turn off the TV at halftime during the Eagles game because that's gonna be a one-sided game. Sorry, Philly fans, you're really not the best team in the world. As much your arrogant Philly head thinks so, no. AFC side of the ball, Texans and the 4 seed Ravens. No.
Oh.
No, that's 3. Chargers, Ravens.
No, it's 3-6. So it'll be Chargers, Colts, Ravens, Texans.
Chargers wild card team.
Oh yeah. Are the Chargers 3 seed or 4 seed?
The Chargers at a 5 seed. Kansas City won the division.
Oh, Chargers are 5 seed. Oh yeah, so Chargers have to play the 4 seed, which is the
Baltimore.
Yeah,
Yep.
So,
who they beat?
So Ravens beat the Chargers.
Yep. Who they beat? Yep.
So, and now they have to play in Baltimore.
I think the no. I think Philip Rivers does better on the way than he has at home. But anyway, so then you have Texans and Colts or Titans or the Steelers. Technically, the Steelers if they tie. The Colts and Texans tie. If the Colts and Titans tie, we could get.
Wait, you play for the Steelers now?
Yes, I do. I'm the water boy.
Oh, okay.
So let's
play for the team.
And so technically, if we have Andrew Luck getting injured, 2 really crappy QBs will combine into 1 and we'll get a tie game.
Okay.
That's what I think will happen. But anyways, so I know it's early. Who has the hardest ticket to the Super Bowl? And who has the easiest?
Do the 6 seeds count?
Any team.
Oh, well, I mean, I think the Eagles. Dude, the Eagles definitely have the hardest road to the Super Bowl. They have no quarterback. They have to go to Chicago, which is one of the fiercest environments in the NFL. And then if they win that game, if I'm not mistaken, they'd have to go and play the Saints
In New Orleans.
in fucking New Orleans. And then if they miraculously somehow won in New Orleans,
They
they'd
go to-
probably
Go to LA.
play the Rams again. And if you somehow miraculously beat the Rams, you're either gonna have to play the Texans, the Patriots.
Not the Patriots. Nope, not the Patriots.
No, the Patriots.
Nope.
The Patriots. The
Nope.
Patriots are the Patriots.
I'm
They're
the.
always in.
They-
Patriots, though.
They are not as good as they are. Have been. I know they're a playoff team. Well, they've been a full season team. If they have to go to Kansas City, they're gonna lose only because of the crowd, not because of Patrick Mahomes. Not to mention, and they probably won't.
Hold back. Take it back. Did you just say the Chiefs are going to win a playoff game?
Probably not because they haven't won in like 30 years at home, so they're kind of screwed. Plus they have Andy Reid, and you're not a Philly fan, but I bet you if I've talked to any Philly fans, they will know that Andy Reid
Yeah, Andy Reid.
is a great regular season coach. Sucks as a playoffs coach.
Great choker. That's what I would call him.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting.
Jets, breaking news: Jets fire Todd Bowles,
About time.
and the Bucks fired Dirk Cutter earlier.
Marvin Lewis still hasn't been fired, surprisingly.
We already have 2 firings, and the season just ended. The season hasn't even ended.
No.
The regular season technically hasn't even ended yet. So, the regular season hasn't even ended yet, and we already have 2 coach firings. And for whatever reason, Ron Rivera is apparently keeping his job. That makes no sense. Whatever.
Well, if they get rid of Rod Rivera, then there's no one really else to help them with.
Well, no, actually, I think Ron Rivera would have been perfect. If they fired Ron Rivera would have a job waiting for him in Tampa, I think. I think Tampa would have been the perfect fit for him because Tampa needs a coach that tells Jameis Winston, hey, how you stop raping people, Uber drivers. So I think Ron Rivera would have been for the guy because Ron Rivera is a pretty tough guy, in my opinion. So I think he would have been able to, maybe get that team situated because that team is a goddamn shit show.
What about Mike McCarthy to the Steelers? Pennsylvania homeboy?
No, not happening.
Not happening?
Because right now, I've not heard any rumors. I mean, I've heard obviously the fan rumors, but I've heard
No rumors.
Shefty,
Yeah, there's going to be no rumors at all.
From Shefty or Rappaport that Tomlin is getting fired. So
Definitely not.
And from what I've heard, Tomlin is saying, but I do think Roethlisberger is going to get fired. I think Roethlisberger is going to retire.
Right now, he's definitely coming back next year. That's what he said. Will it happen? I hope so.
No, because I think here's what I think to have Steelers ownership, upper management's going to pull him over and they're going to say, hey, if you don't retire, we're trading. We're trading if you don't retire. And
That's literally setting him up for suicide for next season. Because you potentially, probably not.
That team has proven that they are not winning a Super Bowl with this core. They've proven that time and time again. How many times they have to prove that? They just missed the playoffs.
Potentially you could get Le'Veon Bell back. Probably not.
I'm not getting Le'Veon Bell back. That's
Yeah,
not
you never know.
I don't,
But then you have no. You're gonna trust Dobbs or Rudolph. Dobbs.
They would. You do understand there's a draft where you can draft new quarterbacks.
I am not
They're
getting.
even better.
I am not gonna get a new drafted quarterback. That is no.
Yes, you are.
I will not do that. I would want Flacco. If Flacco leaves, I would get Flacco.
Oh no, the fans would never allow that. They would never allow.
We need something. Get Manning for goddamn.
He's really not that good anyway. I don't think you want Flacco because he just lost his job to Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I know. That's why we.
He's never played an NFL game before.
But he has playoff experience. It's better than Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs is good, but he's not good to carry the team to a Super Bowl.
Josh Dobbs not good. I don't know where you're getting that information.
He's has an incompletion in his life.
Oh, actually, you know who you actually go get Eli. Eli.
No, Eli cannot throw the ball. He'll make Antonio Brown look like he sucks.
That means Antonio Brown does suck. If he can't get balls from Eli Manning, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, then he's a problem.
Let's get Garoppolo, even though he's not going to leave.
No, why would you want Garoppolo? That's a terrible
like.
investment. Garoppolo has never proven that he can be a starting NFL quarterback.
Oh, yes, he can. Oh, New England, a long time. They never should have gotten rid of Garoppolo. In my opinion, they'd never. Because what? Brady retires, you get Hoyer? Really? Hoyer? Brian Hoyer, the guy who's bald and looks like he has cancer. No offense if Brian Hoyer is watching this.
Jeez.
I'm sorry, but still, he sucks.
I mean, the Pittsburgh porn star community is going to go crazy because Garoppolo only dates porn stars. So you can have a guy that literally, okay, so instead of having a rapist for a quarterback, you will now have a guy that dates porn stars. I mean,
What's wrong with dating a porn star? What's wrong?
it's pretty bad.
And this is football, not who they're dating. So it really just, if they can bring wins to the team.
What about Big Ben raping people?
He's won 2 Super Bowls, man.
Whatever. He's won 2 Super Bowls. Hasn't won one since 2009. Everybody, it's been almost 10 years since he won a Super Bowl, boys. Almost 10 years.
Well, you never know. You never know.
And do we not? We're not going to talk about the time where Clay Matthews and Aaron Rodgers just destroyed this Pittsburgh team and went and danced into the Super Bowl.
Yeah. You still have 4 Super Bowls, or 5.
Okay.
You have 4.
4 Super Bowls. We do have 4. But it's better because we're solid. We've actually won one in this decade.
Yeah.
We're gonna be able to leave this decade saying we won a Super Bowl. You will not be able to sadly say that.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna be rough because Aaron Rodgers cannot play football this year with an injury. Washington.
Call the draft.
Yeah. I just don't want a new quarterback other than Lamar Jackson and Deshaun Watson
And Baker Mayfield.
No good quarterbacks have come out of the draft.
Every quarterback has come out of the draft. Tom Brady came out of the draft. Aaron Rodgers came out
That's
of the draft.
okay. That's recent.
Manning.
That's recent. That's recent. No good quarterbacks have come out. You could argue that Luck has, but
Luck came out of the draft. I keep thinking, wait.
RG3 completely sucked. Luck did okay.
Give Josh Allen another year. That kid came out of the draft.
But out of their rookie year.
I'm thinking. You gotta give me some time.
Mason Rudolph could be a stud. You never know.
No, he's not. You guys stop dreaming, dude. Don't worry. Give me some time. I'm going through all the teams in my head right now.
I want to.
Derek Carr came out of the draft.
I want a running QB.
Carson Wentz came out of the draft.
Wentz was okay. Wentz was okay. I thought he was overrated.
Okay, sure. Jared Goff came out of the draft.
That took him a year though. He took about.
Doesn't matter. He still came out of the draft.
I'm talking about. He came out of the draft. Like immediately, he came out of the draft, and then they did well. Like that first year.
The Steelers aren't doing well with or without a star quarterback year 1. Okay, they are now officially in a process that I like to call trusting the process. It's a very fun process. It takes some time, and you have to trust in it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why it's called the trust the process method. 2 of our teams just recently went through it, and now one of them is going to choke at using that big money. One of them's going to choke using big money or whatever.
I trusted the process to Christmas Day when I thought the 76ers would win. Yet they didn't because Kyrie decided to just look like MVP.
You know what? Pittsburgh has never technically trusted the process.
No.
The Penguins, they try to trust the process, but then they're like, no, NHL, no. Go pump those balls up. Let's go, pump them. So they pump them up, they get a first overall pick. The Penguins are not a big fan of trusting. The Pirates, you're right. The Pirates have been trusting for like 50 years now. You know what? Congratulations. That's a bit too long. They're only supposed to wait for about 5 years. But they've been trusting for about 50. So nice job there. But the Steelers, they don't trust either, man. They just keep going to the playoffs, and they're like the Capitals. They just keep losing in the AFC Championship game to the goddamn Patriots. Kind of like it every year.
Starting now to the end of time, we're going to be beating the Patriots. I don't care who's quarterback. We're going to be beating the Patriots. We're done now. The streak that's done. That's done.
So you're probably saying the Capitals now they're going to beat the Penguins.
No, because the Capitals literally got lucky. That goal just went between.
So are you saying the Penguins didn't get lucky? Or not the Penguins. The Steelers. The Steelers could have got lucky.
No, because we forced Brady to throw 4 incompletions. We completely dominated the game. Time of possession, rushing your yards.
The Capitals forced you to lose in 6 games against the fucking Capitals.
They got a lucky shot. It hit Murray. Both of Murray's pads went in the overtime goal.
They got a lucky shot. They won 4 games. You can't get a lucky shot all 4 games. Not possible, eh?
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see. Only time will tell. But we got to move on now. We're gonna probably I was talking to Nick earlier this week, and since this is probably tomorrow's last day of 2018, we're going to talk about...
See us making a video tomorrow.
Well,
so.
definitely not. We're going to go through our bold predictions for 2019 of Sport G's, going through each month, what each month has in store for us, what we predict that will happen starting from January to December.
Bold predictions.
And then this time next year, we'll go back, we'll watch the video, and hopefully we have more subscribers, and we'll see what came true, what didn't come true. So, we'll start with January. Nick, predictions.
In the month, the great month of January, I'll make because I feel like it, the Metropolitan will win the All-Star game in San Jose, California.
See, I just don't get... The Metropolitan should be always winning that, because you put Ovi, Crosby, and potentially Giroux on one line. That's probably unstoppable.
I really like the skills competition, though.
I do.
Okay? Skills competition.
That's fun. But yeah, okay. So you have the Metro. I say Bama loses. Bama loses. And no, it's February. No, yeah. Bama loses. New England loses the first round. 2. Bama loses. New England loses the first round in July.
All right, so if we can make 2 predictions. My bold prediction is, let's see. Let's look at the bold predictions of January first. Okay. In Urban Meyer's last ever game as head coach, Ohio State loses to the Washington Huskies at the Rose Bowl.
Wow, okay. Month of February, Super Bowl time. We're beginning of baseball pitchers and catchers report. What is it?
I'm not doing some of that. For the Super Bowl, okay, we get an all. So we get a good old-fashioned all. We get a good old-fashioned all Los Angeles Super Bowl. And no, we don't. No, we don't. The NFL said, no, we don't want that. We don't like that ratings idea. So Drew Brees and the Saints take on Philip. Nope. Drew Brees takes on Deshaun Watson and the Texans. And Deshaun Watson beats the Saints. Deshaun Watson beats the Saints. And the Texans bring a Lombardi Trophy down the street of Houston just 1 year and a few months after the devastating Hurricane Harvey.
Okay. I definitely agree with you with the NFC side. I think the Saints... I'm going to go with the Saints. I think the Saints are going to make it. I don't know, but it's between the Chargers... Fuck it. Sorry for swearing. Ravens. Ravens are going to the Super Bowl this year, winning it in the AFC. They will lose to the Saints, but they're going to go to the AFC. They're going to the Super Bowl, winning the AFC this year.
God, no.
March Madness, spring training. What do we have?
So technically, the March Madness finals aren't until April, so I'm gonna wait on my March Madness.
Okay.
But it is March, right? So in March, I think spring training time, everybody's just chilling out, and Bryce Harper, he still hasn't signed a contract yet. It's March. It's the beginning of March. Everybody is reporting, and he has yet to sign a contract. And you know what? He's chilling out in his little house in the bumblefuck, and he says, you know what? There's a team about 20 minutes from here that I could play for. Or I could go to LA. Or I can go and join Manny Machado in the Bronx. Or I can go to Philly.
Do you think you'd go to the Bronx? You think Machado's going to the Bronx?
I think Machado's going to the Bronx, personally. And he says, you know what? No, I'm not going to the Bronx. No, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like cutting my beard. And he says, you know what? I'm not going to Philly. I don't really like that city. You know, not my vibe. And then he says, you know what? I don't really like DC either. I mean, I just fucking hate those people, man. They're so fucking annoying. So I'm going to take my talents out to Hollywood, to LA. LA? Nope, just kidding. I don't want to go to LA. I want to go... I'm going to do it. I want to go to Milwaukee, bumblefuck, Wisconsin.
Where Kane, Yelich, and Harper, is that what we're saying? That would be... I would like that. As much as that would suck, because that would be in the Pirates division, that would be a... I'm sorry, Boston, but we got a new best outfield. We got ourselves a new best...
Harper is taking his talents to Milwaukee in March, my boys.
I would like to see it. I'll give you that. This is what I'm going to say. Another 16 seed will beat a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. Definitely. 16 seed will beat a 1 seed. That's what I think. That would be an upset. One of those. But I think Machado, I don't know who, either Machado or Harper will pull a Le'Veon Bell and not sign this year.
Well, Machado's signing in January. He already told us.
Then it's going to be Harper. Harper is not going to sign this year.
I don't know about that. So then in April, we have the NCAA finals, MLB beginning, NHL playoffs beginning. But you know what happens? It's the NCAA Final Four. We got 4 Greek teams, 3 pristine programs, and 1 school that nobody knew about until just a few months ago. And then it's April something. It's a Monday night, and the Buffalo Bulls win the NCAA title.
The what? The who?
The University of Buffalo.
What is wrong with you, man? What is University? Really? University of Buffalo? Yeah.
13 in the country.
Yeah, sadly. I say my Florida State Seminoles looking good, but I don't know. Who knows? Because there's always going to be that one team. There's going to be. It happens every year in the March Madness tournament. There's going to be upsets, and then there'll be that one good team that'll be like, okay, really? No upsets. We're done. Get out of that tournament. I'm winning it this year. It happened with Kansas. Nova not looking too good, but it's too early for me. I don't know. For me, it's too early for basketball. I don't know. For baseball, though, baseball's going to get underway. What's going to happen? What's happened for the last 5 years? That's been happening for the last 5 years. All the bad teams that we don't expect, the Mariners, the Pirates, the Diamondbacks, fine. The Padres, they'll all be at the top of their division. Maybe the Giants, all the bad teams you don't expect. The Phillies, probably the Marlins, the Rays, all these teams will be at the top of their division during the month of April. That's what I think will happen in April.
Okay. So in April, I also think, obviously the NHL playoffs start. So I need to give you my 8 teams that are going to make it from each conference. In the East, we're going to have Washington, Columbus, Pittsburgh. Washington, Columbus, Pittsburgh, and the Islanders from the Metro.
Okay.
And then from the Atlantic, we're going to have Tampa, Toronto, Buffalo, and Boston. And Montreal. Boston's not going to make the playoffs. But Montreal will.
Okay. Is that your picture there?
And the West, sorry. You're going to have Vegas, the Vegas Golden Knights, who names their team? Vegas, Calgary, and San Jose from the Pacific.
San Jose, but yes.
San Jose. The Jose Sharks,
Sharks.
take it. And then in the Central, we get Winnipeg, Nashville, Colorado, Dallas, and Minnesota sneaks up in there.
Interesting.
And now we go on to May. Now you may go into May.
May. Okay, well, April, May, yeah. By the way, Colts are winning 14-0 over the Titans, sorry. But yeah, definitely Washington, Columbus, Pittsburgh. I think the Rangers can get their shit together. I say the Rangers sneak into the playoffs. Probably not, but that's what I think. Obviously, Eastern, Tampa Bay, Toronto, Buffalo, second half, they're going to fall off. That's what I think. Boston, Montreal. That's what I think. In the West, Winnipeg, Nashville.
Oh. Now you're doing your NHL playoffs in May, which means the season has somehow been pushed back by some random event.
These are just who I think will make the playoffs. Winnipeg, Nashville. Winnipeg, Nashville. Minnesota will get their crap together. Maybe Colorado. I don't know who else because I don't like the Central. West, Vegas, San Jose.
Vegas, who names their team? Vegas, the Angeles Kings, and the Jose Sharks.
Edmonton will get their crap together.
I forgot about Edmonton. Edmonton makes it in. Edmonton, get rid of Minnesota. Edmonton makes it in. I forgot about Edmonton.
Calgary's going to leave. Calgary will drop off. Vegas will take the division.
Please.
I know they're hot. I know they're hot.
See the battle of Alberta in the playoffs.
That'd be fun to watch. That'd be really fun to watch, actually, to be honest with you. So that's in May. June, what do you have?
I didn't do my May.
Yeah. Oh, you got to do May?
My May? What's going to happen in May? May, I'm skipping May. After May. So let's get to June, though. June is the Cup Finals. Who wins the Cup? I say the good old-fashioned. They haven't won in 50-plus years. The Leafs. The good old Toronto Maple Leafs give Canada their first Cup in 26 years. And the Toronto Maple Leafs beat. Who did they beat? They beat the beat Colorado. They beat Colorado.
Maybe
Who
Colorado.
would have been the Quebec Nordiques?
NBA. What do you have?
I have nothing for them. I don't care.
I don't either. For me, I'm a Pittsburgh boy. I'm gonna go with the Penguins. They're gonna make the cup. Will they win? I don't know, because Winnipeg looks strong, Colorado looks strong, Nashville looks strong. I like the Jose Sharks in this one. Jose, Pittsburgh. Who's gonna win? Well, come on, really, Jose. That's a joke to begin with. Pittsburgh wins it in 6.
Oh wait, guys, you were talking about Winnipeg, right?
Yeah.
You were talking about Winnipeg, right?
In case you guys forget, last year I thought Winnipeg sucked. I fully hated them, and then I was like to Nick, wow, they're actually not bad.
Yeah.
So.
You hated fucking Winnipeg for no reason. Winnipeg was great. I don't care. I didn't care about Winnipeg, but I love the Atlanta Thrashers, dude. So I gotta love Winnipeg.
That's fair. July, baseball, free agency, big.
I have a few things for July.
Okay.
July is also the free agency for the NHL and NBA. But I say it's July. Oh, for the way in June is the NHL draft. Yeah, Flyers get the #1 pick. Grab Quinn Hughes in the process. One of the best defensemen ever played the game. The next Darlene, possibly. Kid's a legend. Look him up. So he goes to Philly. Philly gets that defensive core set. It's already set, but just add someone else. So then in July, it's free agency. Flyers say, no, we need to make a few trades. This team is old. There's some really bad pieces on here. We need to get rid of some people. So the Flyers ship Jake Voracek into the other division of the Eastern Conference. They ship him up to Boston. We're shipping up to Boston by Dropkick Murphys. No, they ship up Jake Voracek to Boston. They get a few prospects from Providence in the making, but then they also grab the great, the only. I don't know what to call this. They grab someone from Boston. When is Jake Voracek to Boston? Wayne Simmons goes to Nashville in the West. Who do I want from Nashville? I want Roman Josi, but that is a bit of a stretch because Wayne Simmons is good, but he's not that good. But we'll put him in Nashville in June, and then they can re-sign him if they want to.
Okay, interesting. I'm gonna go a completely different route because I don't know anything about NHL drafts because I don't really care. McCutcheon is gonna fucking hate Philly. Gonna leave during free agency. That's just what's gonna happen. I don't know if he's on a contract or not. He's gonna opt out. He's gonna leave. I don't care where he goes.
He can't opt out.
He's just gonna get out of Philly. I don't know. And then my biggest one yet, which I've talked to most people about this, and everyone disagrees with me. The NL will finally win the All-Star game. Finally.
Yeah, they will. The NL's way better than AL.
Somehow. They somehow lose off of one home run, but it will finally win.
Okay, so then it's August. August is pretty bland. August is a pretty bland month. But I am going to say the Brewers, with the addition of Bryce Harper, they're failing right now. They're doing terrible. They're 4th in the Central. I'm a vote. Pittsburgh is the only team worse than them, and Pittsburgh has only won 5 games on the season. All against.
Wait, hold on. You say, hold on. Say that again. You say the Brewers are behind, right? And you're saying the Brewers. Wait, so that's implying the Reds are better than both of us? Is that what we're saying here? You need issue help. You have major issues. If you ever think the Reds are gonna be better than the Pirates or the Brewers, especially with the best outfield in the game now, that you say.
Yes, that is true. But no, the point is the Reds are on some magical run. Joey Votto's already hit like 70 home runs. He's definitely on steroids, but the Pirates have won 5 games this year, all against the Brewers, all at PNC Park, in one of the nicest stadiums in baseball, filled with a shit team. And they get on the Brewers, and then the Brewers win out. They win every other game that they play, and they make the playoffs. As the second wild card. And
I think it'll be that one extra game that will happen between the Brewers and the Cubs. That one game to see who will win the division. I think it'll be that close. Well, I think the Cubs can get the wild card. I think
that would be in September. So.
Yeah, but I think it'll be close. I think the Cubs are going to lead the division in July, August, and the Brewers will probably get better and get pushed for the playoffs. And this is the time where we'll see the teams like the Mariners, the Angels, the Athletics, the Pirates, the Giants, all these teams drop out in the playoff run. They'll keep it close. I think they'll definitely keep it close. They're not going to make the playoffs, but I think they'll keep it close. Definitely keep St. Louis close.
In September, I gotta be honest with you, I don't really care. Gotta be honest with you.
Football season starts.
It's a nobody month.
That's true. Football starts.
I do have a big one though. Alabama loses their first game of the year, and
Ooh.
he tears his ACL. Jalen Hurts goes in there. He breaks his collarbone. Now they're running off some 4-star, 5-star recruit that could have went to any other school in the country, but he's now like the third quarterback. And now this kid's like amazing now. And now Alabama's got like 3 quarterbacks now. And then he gets hurt. Now they got 4 great quarterbacks. Now they got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They got like fucking 20 great quarterbacks, all winning the Heisman.
I think Trevor Lawrence hopefully gets injured, so I see my boy Tyson Pumachan, homeboy from Avon Farms.
I can't wait to see this Tyson kid just feel like a pick against like the fucking Citadel.
Hey, he's one of the top ranked quarterbacks in the country right now. He's like top 10, top 5.
Then why is he not going to Penn State? It doesn't really add up to me. Why isn't he going to UConn, dude? Revitalize the program.
He did not. UConn was the first option he denied. First option he denied. UConn, nope, no way.
Revitalize the program, dude.
Next year, Notre Dame, our kicker from AOF, going to Notre Dame. Let's see how that goes.
Oh my God, your kicker?
Going to Notre Dame. We got some good guys next year. But yeah.
Dude, I know the running back in Georgia right now, dude.
You?
First string running back.
Interesting.
DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift has record for longest run SEC championship game history.
So that's going to be September. Interesting. I don't have anything for September. Playoffs, we'll see what happens. More teams will crash.
Oh, okay, so now we're in October. Okay, now we're in October. It's opening night, okay? The NHL made the dumbest decision ever, and the Flyers and the Penguins are playing on opening night, and...
Because, wait. Because it's banner raising night for the Penguins. Keep on going. Like I said.
The game is in Philly. And it's on Thursday night, so it can't be the cup raising night. The night prior, when the Maple Leafs had their cup raising night,
Okay.
they beat the Washington Capitals 4-3. It was a very respectable game. Austin Matthews had a hat trick. It was a very good game. Then the next night, Flyers take on the Penguins. Carter Hart plays the Penguins for his second time ever. His first time ever was in this Stadium Series, a game I will be attending. His first time ever was.
Hopefully, I'll be attending that one with you too.
Hopefully. And then the fourth game of the year, they said, "Yep, Carter, you're sitting. This game is too important for you." And now they say, "You know what, Carter? You need to face this team again."
Because they're down 5-0. Keep it going.
It's 0-0. Game starts. He has 38 saves, 0 goals allowed. Sidney Crosby breaks his collarbone, ends his career. It was a crazy night, man.
Yeah, 32 ends his career, definitely.
Claude Giroux has a hat trick, by the way.
That's like saying I'm gonna turn white. That's literally gonna say I turn white. I'll ever turn white. That's what we're saying here. But okay, keep on going.
Wayne Simmons and Jake Voracek, first game without them. Very sad night. Nolan Patrick gets his ass fucked because he's injured every 2 goddamn seconds. So he gets injured by like Phil Kessel being dirty again or something.
Kessel's not dirty, okay? He's
not as dirty as Tom Wilson.
Okay. Yeah, that's one thing we can agree on. We both want to kill Tom Wilson.
But so then, So Flyers win that game. Now congratulations. They win that game 3-0. Claude Giroux hat trick on the night. Yeah.
Interesting. October baseball. Who's gonna win? The Red Sox, probably. I think they have enough power.
I forgot Brewers in the World Series with Bryce Harper in the outfield.
Yeah, I think Brewers. If that's gonna happen, Brewers Red Sox. I think the Red Sox are gonna win. If Price and Porcello shows up to the walk line, or if the Yankees don't get anyone at the All-Star break, they need to get a pitcher. Like I said, I told Nick and I talked about this in the Lost podcast. If they could have gotten Corey Kluber, that would have really helped because you could have had Severino, Sale. If there's a playoff series, Kluber and Porcello or David Price, something that could help him in the matchup because you had Severino and then you fell off from there because Price and Porcello decided to pitch like they were insane, especially Evaldi since he's coming back. So the Yankees, you need to get someone, otherwise you're not going to make it to the World Series. So I have the Red Sox, especially since the Astros got rid of Charlie Morton, and they're probably going to get rid of Dallas Keuchel. So that's going to suck for the Astros.
Welcome to Philly, Dallas.
The Pirates looking at them too, which I really hope they get.
Remember when you got Chris Archer and you gave up your number 1 prospect and you didn't make the damn playoffs?
No, we were not looking to make the playoffs that time. We were already out by then.
Yes, you were.
No, we were out by then.
You gave up your number 1 prospect in your whole farm system.
Our prospects, that guy sucked. Like he was good, but he wasn't like good. I want that guy to be like the AL MVP now. Luplo, I was happy to give him up. I was really. I didn't.
Your number one prospect.
All
And
right.
you got a few months of Chris Archer, and it meant absolutely nothing. Chris Archer, though. To be
He's
fair, Chris Archer made the best stadium change a person could ever make. Tampa to Pittsburgh. It's the best stadium change you could possibly make.
probably, but except your back's
It's
turned
the
to the
worst stadium, the
buildings.
best stadium.
Um,
Worst stadium, the best stadium.
but definitely Archer's going to be a number 2, if not an ace on that team. You could say Jameson Tyron's going to be the ace on this team. Definitely Archer's going to be number 2.
Wait, Archer's still in the Pirates?
Yeah.
That wasn't just a rental? Oh my god. I feel bad for that guy.
October, November. So we move on to November. What happens in November? Nothing really big happens.
Well, actually happens in November, dude. So the
I got it.
I don't know what the NFL schedule is yet, but I do know the opponents, and the Eagles are going to Lambeau this year. Big game.
Oh, the opponents.
Pirates coming here.
The opponents are out. Well,
Yeah.
let me look at that. Hold on, we'll look at that. Definitely, this is a really dumb prediction, but it's November, and I don't really give a crap. Every single team that hosts the Thanksgiving Day, so Lions, Cowboys, and that one final team, they're all gonna lose by 20 or more points.
See, we don't know about November and December. It's like too far in advance. We don't know enough yet. So
Yeah,
you could probably see the Steelers opponents.
I'm looking at that right now, and I swear this better be good opponents. Otherwise, I'm gonna be very upset. 2018. Here we go. 2019 opponents. When did that come out?
Today.
Oh, they came out today?
Yeah.
Okay. Schedule. Ravens, Bengals. Oh, so we will play the Patriots next year. Patriots. Sorry.
At home?
Browns, Bills, Dolphins. Oh, Lord. NFC West this year. I'm not surprised. Rams, Seahawks at home. New England Patriots at New England, which is great. I can go to that game because I actually tickets to New England, so that'll be great.
Oh, you guys are fucked.
Cardinals, 49ers, so that'll be interesting. New England, we're definitely going to beat New England. In New England, that'll be a fun game to go to. I always love going. I hope that's the first game, like last year. We had that first game of the season on like a Thursday night.
Season tickets? Do you guys have like season tickets to the Patriots?
We have season tickets to the Patriots. We sell all of them, but in times like this, when they play the Patriots, finally we get to play them in New England. We were supposed to play them this year in New England, but who cares? Because you love going up to New England. If you go up to New England, everyone's it's like almost as arrogant as Philly. They always go up and they think they're the best team, which you could argue there.
Way more arrogant.
I don't know about I don't know about yeah, no. Well, I don't know about Boston. Philly is pretty bad. But anyways, so November, I don't know. I say all the home teams for
I'm not doing
November.
December. I'm not doing it.
December. Bowl games. Bama will not make the bowl game.
Bama won't make the bowl. Okay.
Bama will not make the bowl game.
Not realistic whatsoever.
Well, I say number one and number 3 teams will lead.
So you guys are probably gonna play the Colts at home, but it's the winner. You guys play the winner of Indianapolis, Tennessee at home.
We play the winner of Indianapolis and Tennessee. So we'll play Indianapolis. We'll play Indianapolis at home.
And you're playing the Rams at home. That's a really good game.
That'll be a fun game to watch. We play Seattle at home, so then we play Arizona away and 49.
Packers opponents, you know what I mean, eh?
Who are you playing?
We play the Eagles at home. I'm really excited for that game. I want them to kill the fucking Eagles.
I hope.
So I think that's it for today, right? I'm not going crazy.
Probably not. I mean, we got nothing else to talk about. We said some fun talking about, just to recap, talked about NHL, bowl games, which we'll be getting up into. Starting probably once the NFL playoffs start, every Friday or maybe Saturday morning, Nick and I will probably get on to make a video on who we think will win that week's games and why. Definitely.
And also, our new video idea, which I'm hoping goes through with upper management here at Keystone and more, which is myself. So it's going through. But my idea was we're gonna do I already told Millan about this. We're gonna do a Wednesday night rivalry thing. NBC used to do Wednesday night rivalry for hockey. It was canceled. It's now called Wednesday night hockey. But I'm gonna continue the Wednesday night rivalry tradition with all the sports, not just
NHL.
Not just hockey, all the sports and
college. Yep, all of it. So hopefully every Wednesday we'll talk about a specific rivalry between NHL, NBA, football, all that stuff. Going forward, we'll try to make ranking videos, try to rank stuff for you guys. If you guys have anything.
I also have a few fun, just videos that are kind of out of the blue. Not series, but just out of the blue videos, one-time videos that that are very fun, and I would like to talk about the
I think.
Millan about them.
Yep. And then quickly on a side note, apparently I got a text from my boy Nick yesterday. Apparently he's getting married in a short time. So
Facts.
hopefully he comes up to Connecticut. We make a video together. Otherwise, I'm trying to get down to Philly so we can get a video together. That'd be always fun to get a combined video together. I was thinking going up to Boston, New York, asking Boston fans about New York sports, asking New York fans about Boston sports. Something fun just to get out of this boring scene here and try new ideas for the channel. If any of you guys have ideas, please let us know.
And Millan is trying to get down here for the Stadium Series game, which is at the Lincoln Financial Field, and I've already bought tickets for myself. So
Definitely, that would be fun. We could vlog that. Definitely talk about experiences there at the game, and then after the game we'll talk about it, and then before the game talk about something like that. But that's what we're planning on. Hopefully, get more videos up. But this is a new regenerated channel, not like the old where we just made videos every like once in 5 weeks. So definitely look forward to more videos. Subscribe, notifications, but definitely share this channel. I don't know about you, Nick, but I want this channel to have a lot of subs to us. And we will see you guys next week.
next time.